Hey, Tea Time Familia! Welcome to Tea Time with Marie, a virtual home for those who are looking to be encouraged and empowered through healing and spiritual growth, where true conversations without judgment and closed mindedness take place. Now, let's get started. Hello, my beautiful Tea Time Familia. Welcome to Tea Time with Marie. And if you are new here, welcome. And if you are not, welcome back. Either way, I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy that you're tuning in for your daily hot tea. It's ready, it's hot, and I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go. Tea Time Familia. Okay, guys. So we've been talking about rejoicing with the little seed on our last episode. I hope everyone found something to rejoice in, right? Because we were saying even the little things we can rejoice, even that little seed that's going to become something great, we can rejoice in. Okay, so if you haven't listened to that, check it out. But today I want to talk about changing your position, right? And how changing your perspective changes everything around you. Okay. And when I was actually listening to a preaching and they said something about this and it just took over me. And of course I got my notes and I'm ready to go because there could be two people, right? Looking at the same movie, looking at the same situation, right? And they'll have two different perspectives, right? I mean, I'm going to get right into it, just like in the Bible when Moses sent, right, the 12 tribes to go look to check out the promised land, right? Only two of them came back with a good perspective, right? The other 10 were talking about how there was giants, how there was, we couldn't conquer them, how, it's going to be tough. But the two, right, that went with them, that seen the same exact thing, had a different perspective. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Change your position, change your perspective. We are human and this is going to happen. We're going to have, sucky days and low days and days where we want to give up. I mean, I've been there. Like, just last week, I've been there. I feel you guys, right? But what do we need to do to get out of that funk? Because we have way too much to lose, right? Our goals are big. Our dreams are big. Our purpose is tremendous and we need to be obedient and follow, right? And we cannot give up. That's not an option here. We're not giving up. So what can you do when you know that you cannot give up and you know that you need to keep moving forward? You change your position. Change your position, Tea Time Familia. I'm telling you, change your position, right? You may see something that's going on that's not right at that moment. Stay with your business, or you feel like you haven't maybe lost the weight that you needed, or, something's going on personally, like whatever it is, you guys know I'm always here just speaking and you guys put it into your situation. But it's time to change our position, right? It's time to change our position so our perspective can change. I seen this quote and it was, I don't recall who wrote it, and I usually do be able to give props. So if you heard it and you'll know what I'm talking about. But they were saying how there was this gentleman out in the rain, right? And it was raining and it was pouring on him, right? And then he put on a raincoat, right? And then he was dry and he was safe from the rain, right? But the storm didn't change. What changed was his perspective. He equipped himself with a different outlook. Okay, I'm gonna have to work in this rain. I'm gonna have a rain jacket. I'm gonna change it. So many times our situation cannot change. Many times I know that life can definitely be unfair and hard situations are not easily to change, especially right on the spot when we truly want them to be changed on the spot. So what can we do? We can change our position, move to a different position, move to a higher position, right? Because I feel like the more we talk about our program, our problem, the more we talk about our problem, the more we are close to it, right? We're just focused on the problem. But if you're able to step back and change your position and sit in high places with God and see that this is what it's really about, right? Changing your position, then you can see it with a bigger perspective. And that problem may seem big, but it's not, right? And I'm not being naive. I know there's really big things that happen in everybody's life, but even in that, you can change your perspective. You can change your position to look at the silver lining, to look how maybe that rough time is helping you, or how that, that process that's taking forever is transforming you and equipping you and strengthening you to do what you need to do once you get that promise, once you get to what you want to, where you want to go. I think this is a big one for me because I'm not a very patient person. I know we talked about this, but I'm learning to do two things: rejoice for the small things, like we've already talked about, and change my perspective, right? Change the way that I am looking at things. And I got a Bible verse, excuse me, that I want to share with you guys on this. Okay. 2 Corinthians 4:16-18. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory with the glory will be revealed in us. So I'm right there with you guys, not judging. I'm right there with you guys complaining about certain situations, right? But the complaining and the hurt and the process, it's not as rewarding as the prize will be, right? As when we finally get to the finish line, how much, we will be proud of ourselves, how much strength we will gain, how much insight, how much knowledge, right? Because now you can see that that problem that you thought was so big wasn't so big at all, right? And now you are able to use those tools, right, for the next challenge, for the next thing, for the next race, because you guys know we're going from race to race, up and up and up, right? But to do that, you have to change your position. All right. Don't be down here looking at your problems. Don't be up close looking at your problems. Step away, step back. How big is this problem? Is this problem bigger than my God? No, it's not. I'm going to tell you right now. It's not, right? And does God truly love me? Yes. So if us as parents who love our children, right, and will do anything for them, right, and we see them frustrated and, you know, and we want to help and want to do it, but sometimes it takes certain steps to get them there, right? I want to give you guys a story real quick. So my son just got a new car, right? But while he was car shopping with his dad, it seemed like we couldn't find the right car for him. And he was just getting frustrated and frustrated. And I'm telling him, like, you have to change your position. You should be happy that you are able to go car hunting. Yes, it's taking a little bit longer than you would want to, but look at your position. You're in a position where you are able to buy your parent is able to buy you a car, right? You're able to, stand in a position that that you're not gonna have to be asking for rides anymore, having mommy bring you everywhere, right? Because I know he loved that. I know he loves that freedom, and he will have that freedom, right? And I'm telling him you have to change your perspective, change the position where you're looking at things, right? Because he's looking at it like feeling defeated because they couldn't find a car in the first week, right? And now when he finally got a car, it was a very good, reliable car. That car was for him. That car was definitely for him. I know because I had prayed to God about it. And even though it took some time, it was worth, right? All that pain that he was feeling, right? All that discouragement that he might have been feeling during the process. And that's why I was telling him, change your position. Change your position. Yes, you haven't found a car, but in reality, wow, you can actually afford, right, to be out here looking for a car to pay in cash, right? Like that's two different perspectives, right? There's people that, are walking, right? There's people that are taking the bus. There's people that don't have that luxury, because I feel like having a car, doesn't matter what type of car, is a luxury now, because we need that car. We need to go places, right? Appointments, school, etc., right? We need that. But because he was able to change his perspective, change the position of how he was looking at things, it makes the process easier, right? And of course, like I was saying, God loves us so much, right? And I love my child so much. And of course, I wanted him to get the best car, and I wanted him to have the reliable car, really, the most reliable car we could find, right? I needed to, kind of tell him, like, not this car, honey. Like, not this car, honey. Like, and he didn't understand, right? Teenagers, they want it quick, they want it fast. And I can understand that. But I had to show him a different position. I had to show him, like, what we are looking for is going to be worth this agony right now. It's going to be worth the annoyance. It's just for a little bit longer. Hold on tight. You are going to have your car, right? Because God wants to give us the best. God wants to give us the best of everything, right? But it's in his timing and it's in his will. And I think that's the hardest thing for us to, understand his timing, right? When he wants it done, because he knows best. And I knew I could have gotten any of the cars that we've seen before, right? His dad could have chosen any of the other cars that he's seen before, but he knew that he wanted the best for his son, and the best wasn't in front of him yet, and they still needed to do a little bit more searching. So even though my son was with a bad attitude here and there because he was upset, that car that they seen was just not it, dad didn't approve. At the end of the day, he was grateful that we didn't take the other cars, right? That could have broken down any day. Now he has a reliable car, and in that waiting, we have to change our position. We have to rejoice for the little things and change our position. When we are looking at things, we need to change our position. That was a big one. Look at this. All right. This day I call the heavens and the earth as witness against you that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live. And I'm going to botch the name. Deuteronomy. That one's always gets me. 30:19. And this is saying something that I always tell my kids, like, your word has power. There is death and life in the tongue. Like, whatever you say is what's going to happen, right? We've talked about this from Tea Time Familia. right? You have to choose life. You have to choose to change your perspective, to change your position where you are looking at things. Don't look at it from this way. Come around and look at it from the higher point of view of what is going to transpire, of how things are going to change, how it is going to benefit your future, how this waiting is just preparing you, right, for what you are about to receive, right? But that's not going to happen if we keep on cursing our blessings, right? And complaining about how long it takes and complaining. Oof, I just preaching to myself here and complaining, about things that are sometimes uncontrollable, right? Because we're in that waiting period. But changing our position and looking, right? Looking at things a little bit different is what's gonna get you. It's what's gonna have the load be lighter, right? Because either way, everyone, we all have to wait, we all have to go through things, but it's your perspective on how you go through things. I mean, there could be two people, and I've seen this before, going through the same situation, and one is like, holding on and holding their peace and believing and having hope. And then there's another person that's like, this is the end for me. And they're in the same exact scenario, right? So which scenario are you going to be in, Titan Familia? I challenge you. Which scenario are you going to be living? Are you going to have a set table for life or a set table for death, right? Are we going to just keep pouring out negativity, or are we going to speak things, right, the way that they are going to turn out when we take some time? I was also listening to a preaching, and he was saying an example, right? And he put up a canvas, a picture of a canvas, but he put it backwards. And he asked the lady, he had somebody come up. He's like, "What do you see?" And I just see the back of a painting, like nothing spectacular, nothing great. And then he's like, "Okay, move this way. What do you see?" And then they were behind. I was like, "Oh, I could see the back and I could see the front, right, of the picture." And the front of the picture was a beautiful picture, right? And then they moved the person right to the front. What can you see? And they were able to see the beautiful picture, right? Everybody was like, "Oh, beautiful picture," etc., right? But that just went to show that there was three different perspectives, right? We can be in the all negative, and sometimes it's like that, right? We just see everything all negative, and sometimes we kind of take a peek like, oh my goodness, I'm almost there to meet that goal, but I still see the negative, right? Or we can change our position and stand right in front of the canvas, right in front of our goals, right in front of our dreams, right in front of everything that you have been pursuing and working hard for, and say, this is what I choose to see. This is the position that I choose to stand on. I choose to stand on the position that I am looking at my dreams right in front of me, that I am looking at the positive, right? That even though things might not look good over here and things are not going great over here, I'm looking at what's in front of me. I'm looking for what I'm going towards, right? I'm going for that new house, that new job, right? A promotion, a business, right? Working on yourself. Come on, guys. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what you need to be focused on. That's the position you need to be in. You don't need to be down here in the low vibrations and negative and thinking about what could go wrong, and if this goes wrong, etc., etc. Things are going to go wrong regardless. It's life. Things are going to be hard regardless, because it's life and it's part of the process. But it's what position you are standing in. So today, I just want to challenge you to think about that. Just think about it. What position, like, what's your position? Where is your position? Are you over here? Are you over here with your arms crossed, just complaining, right? And not happy about it, and it's not happening for me fast enough, and nobody's supporting me, and this and this. Are we standing here, or are we standing here with our arms open, ready to receive, ready to get our, right? Ready to get our fruits, ready to, make the next step, ready to, rejoice finally at that finish line, right? Because these are two different positions. This is a position right here that you don't want to receive, right? This is a position right here that you're fine. You're crossing your hands. This is a position of don't come near me, right? But this position, when you have your hands open to God and ask Him, I'm ready to receive, Lord. I'm ready to get whatever you need me to get. I'm ready to go through hell and hell and fire, right? To get to my dreams. I'm gonna be patient, right? I'm gonna try and be patient. Okay. I'm gonna try and be patient. That's what I be saying. I'm gonna try and be patient. But we can do it, because patience is the fruit of the Spirit, and God gave us that, right? We just have to apply it and put it to action, right? And you have to be in position, right? So no more of this position. We're not complaining. We're not being standoffish. We're not blocking our own blessings. We're not cursing our own blessings. We're not choosing death. We are with our arms, right, and hands wide open, ready to receive what God has for us, ready for the next step, right? Changing our position to be like, no, this is going to happen for me. I am going to get that house. I am going to get that new job. I am going to get that promotion. I am going to lose weight. I'm going to look great, right? What is it? What is it for you? And how are you standing? What is your position? That's what you need to ask yourself, right? There's been many times where I'm like this, and I'm complaining and I'm not happy of certain things. But how can a blessing come to me when I am not even ready to receive it, right? This is me, right? And the blessing is coming. And how am I going to get it? how I'm going to miss the blessing because I'm complaining and I'm talking negative and I'm cursing my goals and my dreams instead of being open and changing my position and be like, no, what's going to be for me is for me. God has great things for me, right? He loves me. He knows things more than he knows everything that we could possibly not know, the future, right? He knows. You just have to stand in position, Titan Familia. That's truly what I want to challenge you guys today. What's your position? What's your position? Is this your position? Or is this your position? Because if I was, if I'm ready to give my kids something, a gift, and one of them is like this and one of them is like this, I'm gonna go with the one that has his hands open, ready to receive the gift, ready to receive the blessing. If my other kid is over here crying and whining with his hands, even if I wanted to give it to him, he's not able to get it, right? Because we're closed off. So what is your position? And if it's this, change it, because we need to have that. You need to have a different position to have a different perspective. I know that sounds very cliche because, I've heard many people say that, change your perspective. You can change your perspective. But if we're in a situation where we cannot control things, right? It's out of our hands, right? What do you want to do? You just want to be miserable until it changes, right? Or do you want to change your perspective and be ready to receive that blessing when it starts to come down? When it's coming straight at you, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to catch that, right? You got to be ready to catch your blessing, right? And this is not being ready. This is not being ready. This is just saying like, I don't want to be touched. I don't want no gifts. I don't want nothing. I don't know what to talk to me, right? So it's time for you to change your position and be ready for your blessings and be ready for what's next, for the next steps, for the next thing, right? Or even to be able to bear your fruit, to reap the fruit, right? You're going to reap what you sow. And if you're sowing negativity, that's what you're going to get. But if you've been working, right? And you've been putting at it and it just seems like it's not working out and you seem like, you've done so much and it's only a little bit of progress. You got to rejoice about the little things and we have to be standing in position. So change your position, Titan Familia. That's what I want to say to you guys today. Change your position. This is not our position. This is our position. This is how we are going to receive. This is how we're going to get our blessing. This is how we're going to obtain everything that God has for us. Like this, I'm ready to get my blessing, right? Are you? Change your position. That's a big one. I'm going to be thinking about that all day, right? Because I already told you guys, I preach to the choir and I preach to myself too. It's hard when you're in that dark area. It's hard when things are not going right? To think about all this tea time stuff. Like, Marie, what are you even saying? But I'm giving you the tools that you need to make it another day, to make it another hour, right? To make it another month or two, right? Until things do turn around. Because they will turn around. If you have been putting in the work, if you have been dedicated, obedient, and you have been putting in the time, it's just a matter of time of when it's going to be your blessing. But remember, you don't want it to come and then you miss it because you're being standoffish. You have a bad, poor attitude. I'm very few people bless people with poor attitudes. Bless, right? You ready for your blessing? You ready for the next? Then change your position to something that shows that you are ready. All right, Titan Familia, that's all that I had for you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And as I always say, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. See, we got to be in position to be ready to treat ourselves. Treat ourselves good. Pour into yourself. Do something that is going to be hard, but is going to benefit, the future. Most of the things that are hard to do are good for us. Nobody likes to be obedient. Nobody likes to be disciplined. Nobody likes to get up early, right? Most people don't like getting up early. But there's certain things that we need to do that we don't like to get to where we want to go, to get the things that we want. So change your position. You got this. And I believe in you. All right, Titan Familia. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. See you later.